Please call roll.
Cowdery.
Here.
Gibbs.
Here.
Crane.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Quinn.
Here.
Rothrock.
Here.
Councilmember Shepherd is absent this evening. Vaughn.
Here.
Thank you.
Tonight we have two special presentations. Our first presentation is from our police department. Chief.
Thank you. Anytime that we hire a new employee, it's always a great thing to backfill vacant positions. Nick came to us January 2nd of this year, and in essence, we stole him from the Spring Hill Police Department, and he just currently finished his field training, and like I said, he's stuck on midnights, but he's grown up in Johnson County, and we're glad to have him, and he got through field training with no problems at all. So good. Yeah.
Good to have you.
Did you bring anybody with you?
My girlfriend, Claire Young, she works for the sheriff's office. So she's in their dispatch.
So she can keep tabs on it too. There we go. All right. You want to shake hands with all of us?
Thank you. Our next presentation is introduction of our new neighborhood services officer.
Evening, everybody. I'm here tonight to introduce to you James Gorham. He's joining us in the Community Development Department as our second neighborhood services officer. So he'll be working alongside Milo. James joined us earlier this month, beginning of March, and we did steal him from someplace else. He is new to mission, but he's not new to code enforcement. He worked previously for Olathe for 3 years in their neighborhood services department, or what they call neighborhood services department there. He's originally from Richmond, Missouri, which, come to find out, is the mushroom capital of the world. So, yeah, ready, Coach James? Say hi.
James, you were working alongside Milo?
Yes, sir.
Did you get a chance to meet him before you accepted the job?
Yes.
Brave soul.
Thank you so much.
We do not have any notes or bonds on our agenda this evening. Next is our consent agenda, which has 7 items. I would entertain a motion to approve.
Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the consent agenda as printed, items 3A through 3G.
Second.
Please call roll. Oh, is there any discussion? No, I guess there isn't. Please call roll.
Rothrock.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Cowdery.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Gibbs.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
If you have any questions regarding our community committees, you may ask staff or bring this up under new business. Now we have public comments. This is opportunity for members of the public to comment on items that are not on the agenda. Seeing that there's none, no action items coming from the Planning Commission tonight. So we will move to our committee reports. Councilmember Miller, will you provide a report from the Finance and Administration Committee?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Our item for discussion this evening is, or for report out, is the recommendations for ward redistricting. Since 2012, the city has had ongoing discussions regarding the realignment of existing ward boundaries to bring them within acceptable deviation limits. The last time the issue was discussed in November 2013, Council rejected the proposed ordinance and deferred consideration to a future date. In January, the mayor appointed a new redistricting committee to revisit this issue. The committee met in February and unanimously adopted a proposed set of ward boundary revisions. The proposed boundaries would not change the ward assignments of any sitting council members. Some board members and commission members would change wards, but no members would be displaced and no new appointments would be required. This proposed resolution is the first step required to complete the redistricting process. It accepts the redistricting committee's recommended changes and sets the dates for 2 public hearings at the April 15th and May 20th City Council meetings. It is anticipated that Council would complete the redistricting process by voting on an ordinance establishing new ward boundaries at our June 17th Council meeting. Mayor, I move the City Council approve a resolution accepting the findings of the 2015 Ward Redistricting Committee and setting public hearings to consider changes in the boundaries of the city's wards.
Second.
Any discussion? Please call the question.
Miller,
Aye.
Gibbs,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Cowdery,
Aye.
Crane,
Aye.
Quinn,
Aye.
Rothrock.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilmember Cowdery, will you provide a report on the Community Development Committee?
Mayor, I have no report tonight. All the items on the Community Development Committee were on the consent agenda.
Thank you. Tonight, we have 2 items under unfinished business. These have been discussed at length at both committee meetings and the February City Council meeting. I would entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move the City Council authorize the signing.
There's already a motion.
Right, there's already a motion on the table.
Yeah, we're just bringing up a table
This is just,
motion.
yeah, we're bringing up the table motion.
Do we have,
I believe this is it's the same motion.
It's the exact same motion.
Okay. So do I?
So go ahead and read it.
Could we
Just read it
refresh
again.
our
Yes,
memories?
please.
Mayor, I move the City Council authorize the signing and submittal of KDOT Form 1302 committing the city's local matching funds for the Turkey Creek Trail Initial Design Grant.
Second.
Is there any discussion from the audience? Please state your name and address for the record.
I'm Steve Petrin, former mayor of Roland Park, 5236 El Monte in Roland Park. I'm coming to make a few comments about these issues you have on your unfinished business tonight that you have a motion now in front of you, and appreciate the opportunity. When I was mayor of Roland Park a few years ago, I served on the MARC board, and I was co-chair of the Bike and Pedestrian Committee for 2 years. Also worked very hard in many regional meetings with cities around here in regards to the design of the regional trail system, and particularly the trail system that was coming through North Mission. And I was one of the strong proponents for this, and worked in meeting after meeting after meeting on these design issues, and with many of the staff and elected officials of Mission as well. And there are several things I'd like to look at on this, and I'll try to be as brief as possible. I'd like to say that most of the cities, including Mission, I believe, the elected bodies agreed to a resolution in support of this several years ago. I hate to see any city consider or have the possibility of backtracking from this commitment. Also, in regards to the design issues that you have, I know about the $1 Million Mile, and I was the strongest proponent of trying to work out a creative solution to the issues of getting this trail under Metcalf and around the creek and those things. And I believe instead of giving up on this issue because of costs, it's a challenge. There's a challenge before you right now to get a creative solution that could lower the cost significantly. And I'd like to recommend that the city consider something like Mayor Marquardt's done in Roland Park, and convene a volunteer group of professionals that live in the city, engineers, architects, and say, hey guys, come up with a creative solution to this. I think it could be done. I don't think it needs tunnels. I don't think it needs expensive bridges. I think it needs pipes and concrete, and if a flood takes it away in a few years, there's not a huge loss. And I think it can be done and accomplished. And the reason that I'm passionate about it and speaking passionately about it is because I really believe it's key to the economic future of Northeast Johnson County, particularly Mission. Footprints and boots on that trail will end up in Well, I was mayor a few years ago. One of the things I served on was the board of the Safe Routes to School National Partnership. And we influenced policy in Washington. We had a legislative liaison working for us on Capitol Hill in Washington. And I went to the national meetings for these organizations and learned about the impact that this kind of culture of active lifestyle, of hiking, walking, getting communities on their feet as a transportation option brings economic benefit. And there's no argument about it around the country. It can and does bring economic benefit, and the investment like this is not something that the private world is going to build a hiking trail and charge admission, and then there'll be trickle-down economy. This is something cities have to make an investment in. And so I'm here to passionately ask you to reconsider if you're any vote, any number of votes that any of you got to win elections is trumped by the fact that the citizens of this community and the county and the other communities surrounding you in citizen surveys overwhelmingly said they wanted these kind of amenities in the city and in Northeast Johnson County. And I think those percentages of people that responded that way trumps any percentage of winning that any of you got in any election.
Well, appreciate it, Steve.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
definitely take it into consideration.
Yeah, and so I appreciate you all reconsider any negative vote on this and move forward with it in a creative manner. Thanks.
Thanks for coming up, Steve.
Frank Bruce, 5706 Lamar, and I think trails are great. It's a wonderful idea. But I think of an old saying is called location, location, location. So I think where you place the trail is really paramount. Now, if you look at where the railroad went through all those 100 years ago, they took a look at that valley and decided what the most optimum place to put the railroad was not right close to the creek, but over in the flatlands. Now, if you look at where they have projected the trail to run through Mission, it's on the north slope. And if you're familiar with north slopes, they don't get sunshine. And when you have frost and you have freezing temperatures during the nighttime, but it's nice during the day, you have ice on trails. And when people are riding bicycles and jogging on a part of the trail that's in the sunlight, they don't realize they're going to be going into an area that has ice on it. So it becomes very much of a hazard. When I read the paperwork today, I didn't see anything on the safety report that alluded to that particular consideration. So anyway, my feeling is the trail is fine, but it's where you locate the trail. And all respect to the gentleman who just spoke, there are no homes along that trail, adjacent to the trail. There are several apartment complexes that would abut it. There are no, what you might call walk-in businesses along the trail. They're all big commercial businesses that are located there. So it's not like you have a coffee shop or something where the trail is going to add to business for the city of Mission. Anyway, keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. If there's no more discussion, please call the question.
Gibbs,
Nay.
Rothrock,
Nay.
Cowdery,
Nay.
Crane,
Nay.
Miller,
Nay.
Vaughn,
Nay.
Quinn.
Nay.
Motion carries.
Under new business tonight, this,
So there's no need.
We don't have to do the second.
Yeah, no need for the second item if we aren't going to authorize it.
does anyone have any new business tonight?
Was wonderful, and she greeted us at the door all dressed in purple. I mean, she was just jolly and having a wonderful time and thoroughly enjoyed it. So I think that's kudos to you two for going, and I appreciate it very much. We have another birthday coming up April the 4th. Dr. Holloman will be 100 years old. So if any of you would like to send him a card, he is taking a slight vacation at Bickford Place, so I know that Martha can give you his address. But he's very up and going and agile, and he's on the computer at 6 o'clock in the morning trading stocks. So
When's his birthday?
April 4th, and he will be 100 years old. So So I think it's great that we're recognizing some of our senior citizens because they really deserve to be recognized. So thanks to all of you for remembering them. And I don't really know what this is doing in here, but does anybody want to place a bet?
That's illegal.
Coffee after meeting, Susie. But one thing, Susie, before we get off on something else, thank you for alerting us to all these birthdays and just everything else, because that does make a big difference, and I appreciate you
It's fun.
very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
those are big occasions.
Yes.
If I could, maybe we could get a card. Next week we have to get together anyway for a meeting. We can all sign the same card instead of.
And then we could do that going forward for these type of birthdays, we can have cards.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Great idea. Any other new business? Birth rules. Boutros.
Mayor, I move the city council uphold the appointment of David Boutros to serve as missions representative to the Shawnee Indian Mission Foundation Board of Directors for a 3-year term. Second.
Please call roll.
Miller.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Rothrock.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Cowdery.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Gibbs.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you.
And I
Second
Wasn't this in the
one.
Mission Magazine, I think? Did this article come out in the Mission Magazine? So he was kind of a one-in.
Yes, that's exactly what it
So that was cool.
did. Yeah, a lot of credentials.
Is he here?
No, I don't think he can make it tonight.
I don't see.
The next one is, tonight, is the appointment of Judd Rimmers, Ward 2, to the Parks and Recreation Commission with a term expiring December 31st, 2016. Is there a motion?
Mayor, I move the city council uphold the appointment of Judd Rimmers to the Parks and Recreation Commission with the term expiring December 31st, 2016. Second.
Please call roll.
Gibbs.
Aye.
Cowdery.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Rothrock.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Thank you, motion carries.
Next is our city administrator's report. Laura?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of quick items. First, we do have a work session scheduled for next Wednesday night. Typically, that would start at 7, but if you would be interested in moving that to an earlier start time, certainly if you can let us know tonight, we'll publish that appropriately.
What time would you guys want to start, like 6 or
6:30?
Yeah.
6?
6 would be good.
Yeah, yeah.
6 o'clock?
Is that
Okay.
Are you guys okay with 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock next week? Okay, we'll
Do we
publish
need to
that.
make a motion or anything like that?
No, I think that's fine. Ivy, we'll so far.
It's on order.
At your places, there's some information. Martha provided some information on upcoming league training opportunities. So if you'll take a few minutes to review that in the next couple of days and get back with her if there's anything that you would be interested in attending, we can get those reservations made. Also, as you know, it's a week of things going up and things coming down. So we have streetlights that are going up. They expect, I think, still to maybe be done by Friday of this week. So that's good news.
Sorry, going back to Martha, I pulled up this link and I can't see a curriculum. or
They don't have it out yet.
Okay.
When I sent that email today, I actually touched base with the league and they don't have it all out yet. But as soon as I have that, I'll send it.
Thank you.
Just if you're interested though, save the date, and for the other one too, if you feel like you would like to go and stay up there so that we can get you a hotel room. So.
And then another one, I know Martha also included the LKM conference in October, and I attended that with Martha last October, and I found it extremely beneficial. So I would just say if there's any way for you guys to set some time aside and attend both the days. I mean, I really enjoyed it a lot and wish I would have gone sooner than just last year. So I highly recommend it. And then make sure you go to the right breakfast because I ended up with the city administrator or city
City manager, city
right,
administrator.
I went to the wrong breakfast.
Is
I don't know. They're all looking at me like, what are you doing here? And I'm
It's
like,
probably better at yours.
45 minutes later, I said, I'm at the wrong one. You are.
And then the next building is coming down this week, so if you've seen any of that, that's great news. And the last thing, we had a significant power outage late this afternoon, so if some of you have been affected more directly than others, but I would ask John Bell to just give you kind of a quick update in case you hear that.
And I know it did affect quite a few of you guys. So about 4 o'clock this afternoon, we had what Kansas City Power and Light calls a circuit lockout, which is essentially the breaker flipping on an entire circuit. Lost a lot of power kind of in the heart of town, basically from Martway north all the way up to parts of 53rd Street and a little bit east and west of Lamar. They were out here very quick. I guess the issue was due to a transformer catching fire at 57th and Horton. So
A squirrel, it was a squirrel.
It exploded.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's really loud.
But they ended up getting the power back on at about 5:20
To
to some people. But they're still out there working at 55th, 56th, and 57th in Lamar. That's kind of where the issue was. Traffic signals were out for about an hour and a half at Martway and Lamar, Johnson and Lamar, and 55th and Lamar. But they're all back up and running, so hopefully power has everybody squared away here pretty quick.
And hopefully they have Amy.
Hopefully they have Amy's power back on.
Good deal.
Already selling.
But if you guys have any questions, just feel free to call us and let us know.
Thank you, John.
Amy will be calling you tonight.
Call away.
10 minutes later.
Thanks, John.
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. There is no executive session tonight, so if there's no other business. Oh, yes, sir.
I'm sorry I'm a little late and to
all
the
right.
party with respect to the park trail.
Yes.
My name is Gordon Count, and as most of you know, we started a second project down the street. So we have about 45 people living here now. And we love this community. The longer we're here, the better we are as far as getting out into the public. But I did want to talk to you about the trail. We do walk that trail. We haven't walked it this spring because we don't walk it in the wintertime. We go to Sylvester Powell and walk in the trail, or the track up on top. But the trail is very, very trashy now. And we couldn't pick all that trash up. It would take a truck to pick that trash up. So when the weather starts warm again, we'll be walking outside and up that trail, and we pick all that trash up. Or we go all the way up to Metcalf and come back. Probably about 25 or 30 of us.
Gordon,
yes,
what
sir.
trail are you, the one we were talking about is down by
Oh, is it?
I-35.
I'm sorry, I came late and I apologize.
That's all right.
But I
So,
did,
no, we're not.
I just thought this would be a good time to, because I didn't know how we gonna pick all that trash up, with our hands. That's the way we pick it up.
No.
And so,
John Belger
John.
just raised his hand.
We'll help out.
I appreciate that deeply.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mayor.
Gordon, thank you very much. And we love you guys being here too. So,
Yeah, and thank
we
you for
really
all
do.
your work and letting us know if there's something like that that's burdensome, let us know.
Well,
and we can help
it's
out.
good for us because it gets us outside and we get walking and.
Yes.
Yes.
Our main project with these kids is that they have to work.
Yeah,
And we don't want them in those apartment buildings. We want them out working.
yes.
Out of 40-some people, we have 39 working, one cannot work, and she's been trying to get a job for 3 years.
Oh, that's great.
But she
But,
wants to.
Yeah,
And she volunteers.
yeah.
If she can't work, she has to volunteer, and she volunteers.
Good people. Good
Yeah.
people. We're glad to
So
have
we
them.
appreciate Mission, and we appreciate the Mission City Council.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
we appreciate you.
I'm sorry I interrupted.
Oh,
No,
you're
no,
right.
no.
Thank you.
I'm glad you came up, Gordon.
On that note, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Well, that sounds good.
That's what I have to say.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?